Anyone out there? Hey, Karen. Can you hear me all right? Hey, Valiant One. Salted Cedar. Sean Becker. I'll bring in my guitar for Sean. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. How's everyone doing? Sorry about that. How's everyone doing? You guys have a good weekend? All right, let me set up the phone and see if that works. Normally, when I do the live stream, I have the headphones on, and it's a little bit tricky actually because there's a slight delay in the headphones from what I'm playing. So it's like I'm actually testing without the headphones. I could always set them up so there's no delay in it, but anyway, I wanted to test the phone. If anyone wants to call in, let me set it up. Let me just see if I can call in. It's 978-561-6168. All right, let's see if this works. Hello? Could you guys hear that? Oh, Tommy, you like my haircut? I tried something new. I tried to match like the length of hair like on my head. So like I did just one size, 1/16 of an inch, just all the way around. Could you guys hear that phone call coming through? Guys heard that when the phone call came through? Let me try it again. Tell me if you hear this.
All right. Now I'm talking on the phone. Can you hear that? All right.
Could you guys hear that? Awesome. Anyone want to call in? 978-561-6168. I've got a little time to talk before I gotta move on. 45 years and I thought I should. Let me start this again. 45 years and I knew I should see a picture of her on the horizon. Then I saw a boat disappear and I saw that object reappear simply by zooming with the camera. I was blown away cause I learned in school 8 inches per mile squared was the rule. Now I'm feeling a little bewildered when I put the formula to the test. I was to further than the horizon. When I put the formula to the test, I could see way further than the science suggests. Now I wonder, what are we on? I said, hey, what are we on? I said, hey, what are we on? "45 years in a life, see a big curve of Earth at the horizon. Then I saw a boat disappear. Then I saw the object reappear simply by zooming with the camera. Now I'm blown away, cause we learned in school 8 inches per mile squared was the rule. And I feel a little bewildered, cause when I put the formula to the test, I could see way further than the science suggests. And I wonder, what are we on? I said, hey, what are we on? I said, hey, what are we on? I guess that's a big question. What are we on? So we know what we're not on. Question is, what are we on? I don't know. Anyone want to call in? Hazard a guess? Hey, Derek, what's up, buddy? Remember when you were young and they said we're circling the sun? Shine on, you crazy flat earthers. Now there's a look in your eyes, 'cause you're no longer swallowing the lies. Shine on, you crazy flat earthers. You were born into a matrix of tricks and deceptions, and filled with unprovable theories. Come on, you, what is it? Come on, you target of triggered reactions. Come on, you truther, you loner, you seeker and shine. Remember when you were young, and they said we were circling the sun. Shine on, you crazy flat earther. Yeah. Now there's a look in your eyes, 'cause you're no longer swallowing the lies. Shine on, you crazy flat earthers. You were born into a matrix of tricks and deceptions, and filled with unprovable theories. Come on, you target of triggered reactions. Come on, you truther, you loner, you seeker and shine. Got a ball. Got a ball. How's it going, buddy? Karen, that was the theme of this podcast. What are we on from that other song? I got to add another lyric to it, but I'm working on it. Shine on. Sean, you know how Dead songs always seem to just emerge out of nowhere. I was feeling so bad. I asked my family doctor just what I had. I said, doctor, Mr. MD, can you tell me what's ailing me? And he said, yeah, 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 yeah. All you need, all you really need is good love. Good loving. Got to have loving. Really good love. Come on, baby, squeeze me tight. Don't you want your baby to be alright? I said, honey, it's for sure. I got the fever, and you got the cure. She said, yeah, 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 yes indeed. All you really need is good love, good loving. Got to have loving, really good love. That's all we need, right, folks? Good love. Moving forward, using all my breath, making love to you was never second best. I saw the world crashing all around your face, never realizing it was only mesh and lace. I'll stop the world and melt with you. You've seen the difference, and it's getting better all the time. There's nothing you and I won't do. I'll stop the world, melt with you, right? I've got a friend, Rodney. He's sick in bed right now. He's got something like the flu. I'll stop the world, melt with you, Rodney. You've seen the difference, and it's getting better all the time. There's nothing you and I wouldn't do. I'll stop the world, melt with you. The future's open wide. The future's open wide. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. I'll stop the world and melt with you. You've seen the difference, and it's getting better all the time. There's nothing you and I wouldn't do. I'll stop the world. I'll stop the world, melt with you. So you think you could tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain, can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail, a smile from a veil? Did you think you could tell? Get you to trade your heroes for ghosts, hot ashes for trees, hot air for a cool breeze, cold comfort for change. Did you exchange a walk-on part in a war for a lead role in a cage?
how I wish you were here. We're just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl, year after year. Run around the same old ground, and have we found the same old fear? Wish you were here.
That's right. I do wish you were here. Danny Pepper in the CA. Were you guys wondering what's on my shirt? Can anyone guess? I'll wait. Someone, can you guess what's on the shirt? It's not a green screen. It's an actual shirt. It's a cat in a taco. See the taco? I guess the cat looks like it's kind of riding the taco, like in outer space or something. My kids gave it to me. I feel like, I gotta wear it sometimes. If my words did glow with the gold of sunshine, and my tunes were playing on the harp unstrung, would you hear my voice come through the music? Would you hold it near as it were your own? It's a hand-me-down. The thoughts are broken. Perhaps they're better left unsung. I don't know. Don't really care. Let there be song to fill the air. And ripple in the still water. There is no pebble tossed, nor wind to blow. Hold out your hand if your cup is empty. If your cup is full, may it be again. Let it be known there is a fountain that was not made by the hands of man. There is a road no
highway between the dawn and the dark of night. If you should go, no one may follow. That path was made for your steps alone.
Hey, welcome to the jam room.
Howdy, how, good sir.
Hey, who's this?
This is Tommy.
Hey, Tommy, how's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good. Other than the mass shooting here, you know.
Oh, I didn't even see what happened.
The national or the world news, the Pensacola NES.
Something was it someone went crazy or something?
Wow, I figured you would know more. I mean, know more than that about it. But okay, I'll tell you about it. Yeah.
Yeah, tell me what was it?
It was a Saudi national student here, and we have hosted students for since we probably have hosted foreign students for the whole time it's been open, or for 40, 50 years or so.
Yeah.
All right, but the laws changed in maybe 2014, somewhere around in that it was no longer an open carry base, for those who were, legally carrying,
Right.
and so it left the base very vulnerable, left the soldiers there. See, there's very little MPs, or what they call base security, there. So if something happens, you've got a lot of qualified men to do something about it, but not enough weapons,
Yeah.
and it's very easy to get a gun on the base. Unfortunately, it's a huge base, and they only do random checks. Now they're changing that now as of today, but we'll see how long that lasts. But it was real easy for somebody. Where the laws are working against us is that Saudi national student that was here was able to get a gun legally, and that just that doesn't make sense to me. Or to a lot of people, because he's only here as a student for 2-3 years, and they shouldn't be able to carry a gun. I don't think anyway, but
Was it like
whatever.
some kind of a large weapon or something that he brought onto the base?
He had a Glock 45.
And what was the result of the whole thing?
Well, all right. Well, this is what I found in my investigation, and it looks like that's what I'm not going to say the official stories head that way, but at least the local,
What's the official
what the locals are believing. All right. So the student, was ridiculed by his instructor here at Pensacola NAS, and he was real offended by it, and went to the Navy and complained, and the Navy didn't do anything about it really to his satisfaction. And so on a break, he went back to Saudi Arabia and complained to everybody there, and it's been shown that at that point he became radicalized. And then when he came back, he still pursued getting the instructor in trouble, because they paired him up with the instructor for some kind of flight test or something, some exam or whatever, and he didn't feel comfortable, being around him, as he had previously, complained, obviously. And so he was just getting more and more upset about it. And then he was meeting hanging out with other Saudi nationals, and some of them were Saudi students outside of the base, and they began kind of planning and plotting and watching videos that were violent and of shootings and things, and like what he did, and so he bought a gun legally because of the laws allowed him to currently, and he decided to shoot up the base one morning a couple days ago, and as it unfolded, there was a naval officer that tried to stop him, I guess, and got shot, and the other victims ran towards him too, trying to stop it. Well, apparently, they felt like they couldn't handle the situation, and they called the local 911, and our sheriff responded, and they his men and women went out there and shot the guy, and they were only minutes away because that the base is on the kind of what you would call the worst side of town, and where most crimes are committed, and so they're always nearby there, and it didn't take them but a couple minutes to respond, and but yeah, it's
crazy.
It's a shame what happened. That's for sure.
I'm definitely going to have to check this one out. But I always get a bit skeptical with the wild stories that happen on the bases and other places. But it is weird. My son, when I was taking him to school this morning, he was like, he started telling me that he felt scared, and I was like, what do you feel, what are you scared about? And he said that they're going to do a lockdown at his school and stuff, and I was like,
I just got goosebumps. Let me tell you real quick, one of our local high schools was supposed to be there that morning on the base at the Naval Air Station for a World War II memorial and a special thing for what just happened in Pearl Harbor, which was similar, I guess, a shooting and stuff. So they were going to, remember that. And the funny thing is that the Naval Air Station announced at 6:01 that they were going to be closed, or that the World War II remembrance was going to be canceled due to an active shooter on base. And for them to know that at 6 o'clock like that, the 911 call wasn't made till 6:51. And then the killer wasn't announced dead till 7:51. So, there's too much time frame in there. And the Naval Air Station, the Naval Air Museum is not close to it's a big base, not close to the classroom area where that happened. So, it stinks. It's real fishy. I don't trust the FBI, and neither does my local sheriff. He's got so many questions that the FBI still 3 days into this will not answer for him. And he is upset. And his men resolved this. They took out the guy. So there's, who knows really, the FBI, see, I never told you this. When he came back from Saudi Arabia, he got in contact with the FBI, and even they couldn't help him. So I'm skeptical of their role in this too. That's all I'm going to say on that, but I have videos on it.
Yeah, I don't know. There was some crazy stuff. When did this all go down?
It happened 3 days ago. What is that? What's the what was it? Saturday,
and
Friday?
Is it on like continuous loop on the news?
Friday morning. Yeah, Friday morning. It was Friday morning.
Is it like on continuous loop on the news, like constant updates and everything?
Oh man, it is huge, dude. It is huge world news. I mean,
wow.
It's a terrorist attack. So they're finally calling it a terrorist attack, and they're treating it as one.
And And they're probably
You-
looking for other Saudis now, right? Or flying them.
Oh, they detained him. I'm sorry. I didn't even tell you the story, man. All of it. There was one Saudi national student that was filming the whole thing. He filmed it, and there was two more sitting in a car watching it, maybe even possibly filming it too. Maybe even the getaway car, whatever. But I mean, he had help, man, and it's obvious of that. And all the Saudi students are confined to base and are being interviewed, and whatnot. So there's more to come.
Yeah. Have our politicians, have they like stood up or like made any announcements?
Most definitely. Oh yes, you've got Representative Matt Gaetz from this area, and DeSantos, the governor, and even Trump has talked on this. Oh, I mean, many people. Yes.
How far are you from the base?
I heard the sirens, brother. I mean, I'm close enough that I heard the sirens going to it. And I know that base like the back of my hand. I've worked there. My father worked there. His father worked there. His father and my grandmother are both buried on the base.
Well, I'll tell you what, with that kind of access, you might be able to really get some interesting, interesting local reactions to what's going on. There might be some stuff that seems a little bit strange that floats around, that details that locals might get that other people might not get.
Yeah, I already have, brother. That's why I've come, so far in my investigation already. See, like I said, the FBI is just not talking at all. And, that's typical, but see, I still have answers for the FBI that they refuse to answer to today, and I've called them out. But that they just don't answer questions, even from law enforcement. It's shady, man. I'm telling you. I have answers from Muhammad Atta. I met Muhammad Atta. I was face to face with him twice. My father rented him an apartment right before 9/11, and
That's crazy. Seriously?
Yes, man. I'm so connected to some of these events, in ways it's creepy, man, almost, But I'm not going to go down that road right now. But anyway, the FBI, basically laughed at me and my father as they also came and took all the stuff out of the apartment, and they've never would answer any of our questions. And part of me wants to go down there and ask better questions than the media is asking them. But, they're not going to like that.
Yeah. And, what's interesting is like the media now is just, it seems like a template for these events, right? It's like you can pretty much like snap out any event and it all it's like the same kind of hosts on these shows that, are talking all the same talking points, and then
Yep.
it just gets so formulaic at some level, all of these things, and then they roll out Anderson Cooper, right? And they have the same looking people pop up, and it just like, I don't know, I've got about a dozen I could rattle off in my head that all kind of blur together. It's like basically templated. But
yeah, there are people putting this event together with, of course, 9/11, but also with the Vegas shooting and some other mass shooting or something too. So I mean, it's crazy when all of these mass shooting events have telltale signs of, manipulation, exploitation, and, deception. Yeah. And yes, for the chat, we are talking about Pensacola NAS, the shooting that happened there. I'm in Pensacola, and it's just a horrific event. And I have not said that it was totally fake and that nobody lost their life. That's not how I roll.
Just use your discernment, right?
But you never know what's going on, unless
Just
you're
use
there.
your discernment, right? like we've been able to use our discernment like to figure certain truths out that were never given to us, you know. So like in all of these things, it's just like a matter of like using your common sense and stuff like that to put together what you feel like might be a reasonable explanation for what you're seeing. That's kind of my
You're,
general rule.
Yeah, you're spot on, brother. I pray and ask for help and guidance through anything that I research or investigate. And I have looked into probably every single mass shooting in our history, and as a researcher and a person that cares about my fellow person out there, you know, and what's going on, and the fact that there's so many medications we haven't even gone there yet. You know, I mean, like I said, he could, once he got involved with the FBI, because of their history of grooming people or manipulating situations or allowing things to happen, you know, because they have an agenda. They definitely have an agenda, and they want to get every gun from everyone. They will not stop. These events will not stop until they get every gun from everyone. That is what they want. And then they will move on to controlling and enslaving us even further once we're unarmed. But they know who the enemy is. It's us that stand up and speak up against their evil and their tyrannies.
Well, let me
love
put this out there. Like that's a reasonable thing to say. You know that you can connect the events with like the controls of weapons and stuff like that. But it could be that at another level, things are taking place where it's like, you know, the fear is more damaging than actually, you know, if people can be really channeled into the fear of these things and then like get sucked down the whole storyline of these events, then it's kind of like even bigger than trying to make something happen with guns. It's really kind of using tactics, psychological tactics on a population, you know?
Yeah,
It's
fear
like,
tactics.
It's like just people fearing the, you know, fearing these things, like my son who's, you know, now goes to school fearing the lockdown drills. Not, you know, I don't even tell him about the shootings and stuff like that happen at the schools. It's just like I told him that his grandmother had to practice in, you know, putting her head under the desks, and they did all of the bomb drills and stuff like that back in the day. You know.
I was headed that way, brother, when I got sidetracked. If you can let me interject one more time. The drills in a lot of these mass shooting events, it's been found that they were doing drills either on that specific day or right up to it, and you know that certainly makes it real fishy. You know, and a lot of times the FBI and all these other you know, alphabet agencies were right there, you know, magically somehow all right there, you know, like they were around the corner waiting for these things to happen, kind of thing, you know. So but yeah, the kids are starting to get scared because they never know when one of those drills is going to go active, man. And I would be too, man. I'm telling you, you know, but I'm not trying to make anybody scared, but I'm just saying, you know, if I was a kid, yes, I would be starting to wonder when it's going to happen in my town. And I didn't expect this, but I kept an open mind that it could happen. But, you know, a lot of people are blown away that this is possible. But yeah, when you take away the guns from good people, tell them they can't defend themselves, and then you can't even defend them on the base, and they have to call for people outside the base to come on and you know, take this guy out. You know, that's wrong on so many levels. Our soldiers deserve better than that.
I hear you, but listen to me on this one. Like, if you were to kind of like use this as a build up to, you know, taking weapons away from the citizenry,
I said that, brother.
That's one way to look at it. But if you keep constant fear of people that they're gonna lose their rights, you can keep that ongoing. Like you could certainly take their rights, but it's almost more successful to keep them fearing that they're going to lose their rights
Exactly.
than actually taking their rights away. Because once you take their rights away, then who knows what they do. But like if you just keep a group of people in constant fear,
Of
then
losing those rights. Yes, I got
yeah.
you.
So it could be something like that where a lot of these things add up to a tactic to keep us in a certain mode of certainly occupying lots of time. If you think about it, like I watched the whole OJ trial, you know, how much time did I put into that CNN, you know, spectacle? It's incredible.
Right.
You know, I was watching all the evidence and all the little activities from the chase on, you know, to you know, the verdict. And
Yeah, there's Mandela effects about that too. Do you know about the OJ Mandela effect?
no, tell me, what are they?
Oh, it has to do with everything from who was driving the Bronco to you remember the gloves? If they don't fit quit or whatever, whatever. Well, now the glove, instead of he used to not be able to get the glove on, now he gets the glove on fully, and it's just too big for him.
What?
Yeah, you can't make this stuff up.
Okay, wait. I remember OJ putting on this whole show of trying to get his hand into a glove that had obviously dried up from like having blood on it or some substance. But like obviously he's struggling to get it on. Now he puts it on and it's too big for his hand.
I promise you, yes, there's extra fingers and everything. He gets completely on.
Oh my gosh. I remember those gloves. I remember when they said, oh, they couldn't have been OJ's gloves. And then they like tracked it all back down to the very receipt where his wife bought like the only 2 pairs of those gloves ever sold, you know, like, and it was just such a slam dunk case. Like every twist and turn had another like 16 hours of viewing from my perspective, you know. It's like then they got into the DNA and I was all, you know, into watching the DNA and trying to figure out all the, you know, all of the mathematics behind the DNA science. And that was 2 weeks right there, you know. They really put DNA on a kind of an investigation in that one. That they spent 2 weeks of like CNN time talking about how DNA works, you know, and
right.
that took a lot of my time. And a lot of these things, if you think about it, you know, they all kind of are spread out around, but how much time people invest. I feel a little bit embarrassed that I had no idea this was going on in Pensacola, but then
well, you know, and that's I've spent like 3 days, you know, probably 5-6 hours each day, you know, figuring it out for myself, and I probably wouldn't have spent that much time on other ones, but this is local, so yeah, I'm definitely, you know, all over it.
Yeah. Well, Tommy, I'm going to have to actually bolt. I got some errands to do, and I will love to talk.
Yeah, no problem, brother. I appreciate you performing for us and the chat as always. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Always, you know, call back and give me some details on what's happening there.
Yeah, no doubt, brother. Yeah. All right. Have a blessed one. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, chat.
Later, Tommy.
Yep. Bye-bye.
All right, everyone. I'm going to have to head out. It's been awesome. I'll leave you with one more song. It's a repeat of the one that I was working on.
5 years, I knew for sure there existed a great big curve of Earth at the horizon. Then I saw a boat disappear. Then I saw the object reappear simply by zooming a camera. Now I'm blown away 'cause I learned in school 8 inches per mile squared was the rule. And now I'm feeling a little bewildered, 'cause I put the formula to the test and I can see way farther than the science suggests. And I'm wondering what we're on. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I said, hey, what are we on? Ooh, ooh, ooh. I said, hey, what are we on?
All right. I'll see you guys all later.